and the Indianapolis Colts. With that, let's get on up to Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. For the Colts, we bring in our broadcasters, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New York Giants and the Indianapolis Colts. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go. Set. 10-2 saw. 22 jet bomber. 22 jet bomber. Check 4. Hit it.
They'll start on the ground with Harris. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
And Walker has it. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that'll make this a second down.
That's it. Down. 30 base. 53. Check 53. Get ready.
Second and 9 now. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. They had about 5 sacks last week, and we just saw their first one of this game.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Credit the Giants' defense that time in pass coverage. Fourth down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Could not have thrown that out there any better. When the ball hit the ground, I thought it might go into the end zone the way it was angling, but perfectly jutting out at the 1.
You think maybe what we saw in practice came into play there? You know, he put those big cans down on the sideline and angled for him and shot for him. Looks like it worked out pretty well for him, too.
Ready? 18 Gator. Right there. Hey, tight down.
They'll run on first down. Peyton. A good move, but not much room to run. Brought down at the 5. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. A big play there. 95 yards as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay. I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
Well, you know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
Break. 61. Matchbox lights. Hey, check. Let's go.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Through an opening, and there he goes. And he will bring it back. It's a pick-6 and a Giants touchdown. Now, remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And now, Charles, this becomes a pretty important second drive for them. They're already down a pair of scores here in the first quarter.
As you noted, they're down 2 scores, and to me, they're down a possession or a service break if this were tennis, right? Because they just gave one up. Only their second drive now. Run their offense, try and get back into the game that way, and then look for some help from their defense.
I'm trying to forget about that pick-6 last time out. They'll set up a throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
That's what I'm talking about. Sacks all.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
On second down, this is Harris. And 3 yards there, takes him to the 45. Well, look now at the starters for the Giants defensively. They were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
An absolute shutdown game for them. And watching the game film preparing for this one, that people tried to run it against them, nowhere to go. Tried to throw it, couldn't complete anything. An absolute dominating game.
90 Wolf. Not today, you are. Not today.
They're going to look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That's how we do it.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out. That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. New York set to take the field. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field.
Now a give, right side. Peyton. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6. On 3rd down, this is Jackson. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that.
Offense.
So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Watch it.
They'll indeed go for it with Elway. And it is incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go.
I don't know why you would do that. It's almost guaranteed.
The Colts with a first red zone opportunity of the ball game. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. Now a first down carry for Harris. And this play goes nowhere, losing yardage back to the 15. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Back to throw here. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line. He's sacked. Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spend working on pass rush moves, every position, because anyone could go after the quarterback in their defense, and you can see how they've all absorbed their lessons.
The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch. All right, partner, get that disapproving look off of your face. He did get it out to the 1-yard line. Yeah, I know. Wasn't the best play in the world. He's hoping his offense can bail him out.
On first down, Peyton breaks the tackle, now an alley. He's at the 50, 30, the 20, 10, touchdown, Giants. A great play there. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. Well, Charles, you said it after the 4th down stop. That's almost guaranteed points the other way, and that comes to fruition with the touchdown.
Well, the unnecessary risk did come back to haunt them, didn't it? End up getting those points that I predicted that they were going to give up because it's guaranteed points if you don't make that play.
Fielded about a yard deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Colts now, their offense works their way back onto the field. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
On 2nd down, it's Harris, and he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
You better be ready next time.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. And you know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
From the 9, here's 2nd and 9. Now a give, right side, Peyton. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on third down. On third down, Jackson. And he's going to be taken down here at about the 10. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. And no move to get the offense off the field. Despite failing once, they're going to go again here on fourth down. So here we go. Elway on fourth down. Wide open receiver complete. First down, Giants on a pickup of 14.
On the double. First down. Mike 58 right there. Go.
They'll run on first down. Peyton. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Another strong gain on the last two plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
Go now. And two stops. Christian Travis. Hey! Undercrunch, undercrunch, undercrunch.
On first down, it's Craig. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. A great effort there. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. No problem there on the extra point.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. The reception good for 7. It's third down. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. We have hit, and just like that, on we head to half number 2. Second half ready to get rolling. The Giants with a lead, and they are set to receive this kick. Oh, my goodness, I thought he'd peel off. Instead, he makes the fair catch at the 2-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spend the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
Yeah, he is marked down right about on top of that imaginary yellow line, but they say he's a bit short.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football.
He's got daylight. He's at the 40. Past the 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, New York. A big play there. 88 yards as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Ready up. Topper, Topper.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Complete to Newsom. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Well, as a lineman, they are trained. You've got to stay close to home. If you're more than a yard downfield, they're going to toss that flag, and they did there. On second down now, it's Harris. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
Ten Lobo.
Watch 59. Watch the screen. Pass.
They'll set up to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Man, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. The Colts send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Here's Jackson. And now off to the races down the right side. And he will score. Touchdown, Giants. Officially, it'll be a 68-yard punt return score as his guys continue to pour it on.
Well, it certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there, a punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. You might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. They'll run with Harris. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll make it 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the 1st at the 32. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on him man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
And he's loose again. And he will score. Touchdown, Giants.
Such an impressive punt return, 83 yards, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
When you got a guy that fast back there to receive punts, that's a nightmare for the guy game planning, the special teams coach. It's also a nightmare for the punter. Sometimes they get so nervous that they hit the ball and kick it right to him.
So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, "Wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys."
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
You think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. Now here's another carry for Harris. And now nothing but green ahead of him. The 30, 20, 10, 5. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. A huge play that time for the Colts. 69 yards. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. Looking to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Colts gain a bit of respectability. The touchdown all set up by the big play one snap before, but they finish it off here with a shorter completion, this time for the score.
I like how they stuck with what got them there, right? The big pass play. Got the momentum going, right? You create it with a play like that, and you come right back with another pass play to finalize things off.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded at the 6. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big number. But 20 was the threshold.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. A great play there. His third touchdown of the game, number 16 on the season, as his guys continue to pour it on. The point after is good, and that will extend this big lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And the last play, a really nice run that culminated in the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. On the draw, it's Harris. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything. Change it up because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
And he's able to get this down deep on the Giants side of the field. A big play there for Indy. 45 yards on the ground. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Not quite the success they had last play. This one goes for 3 yards. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. On play action, they'll throw. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now, there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
On third down, here's Harris. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
And his kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone.
Here we go. Here we go.
Okay, I wish I could say this from experience, but I have talked to people about this. When you've had a big return for a touchdown, the hardest thing to do the rest of the game is to make good decisions, because after you've gotten one, you expect to get another one. In this case, he needed to tamp back the enthusiasm a little bit.
They'll run on first down. Peyton. 13 yards, good for a Giant first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And a nice run to get this up over the 20-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. On second down. It's Craig, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. First down for the Giants as they pick up 12.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Go!
At the 39-yard line.
They'll try the left side. Craig, they're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
Well, this is the reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Runs like that might get him another award.
Yeah, Thunderbolt right out of the gate, huh? How about that, hitting the defense hard early? And, of course, carrying the momentum from last week into this week's game.
The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Elway wants to throw. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Short kick. One of the up middle take it down. And solid field position here to start as they get it out to the 40-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't. because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Giants,